We're about to start another project on the house, and I'm gonna bring you along for it. We are going to remodel the front of the house and put some landscaping here. There's some advantages to doing it on a new construction, is you don't have to remove any sod, you don't have to kill any grass, you don't have to cover up too much stuff. As a matter of fact, it's sort of compacted on the top surface because the construction crews have been through here, so it's kind of hard on the top. But I've been running a bit of drainage test here, and if you get underneath the top layer here, like for example, this is the top layer, it's sort of like concrete, but once you get underneath, it's not too bad. It's red and fairly porous. I've made these holes pretty deep, and I'm seeing how much they drain. It's been 30 minutes, and I've got over 2 centimeters of drainage, which is pretty good. It's pretty good. So what I think I can do is do a standard install here, where you dig a fairly deep hole, make it wide enough, take your plant, put it in the hole, expand the root base, you know, so that the root base is kind of open and aired out, mix it with some good compost, and should be pretty good. What I'd like to do is have a nice undulating perimeter, and then beyond that the grass is going to go in, but first is landscaping. Annie wants some flowers, and I want some shrubs and some sort of nice boxwoods and whatnot. So tomorrow we're going to go, well, I'm going to go to a nursery after I drop off Eva at school. We're going to take the trailer, and we're going to pick up some compost and some plants. Once I get the compost and plants in, I'll take another trip and get some wood chips. I'm kind of trying to decide between wood chips and stone. Obviously wood chips is a lot cheaper, but also my dog really loves to lay on the wood chips, and I don't want, you know, it's going to be right in front of the porch, and she'll like sitting out there, and she can lay on the wood chips is fine, but I think it probably wouldn't be too comfortable for her to lay on the stones like lava rock and stuff. So anyways, that's what we're going to do. Hey guys, how's it going? It is the next day. The trailer's hooked up. We are headed to the nursery, and we're going to pick up some plants. The test in the front yard went pretty well. I actually think my soil is a bit more porous than I had originally suspected. These drained in a couple of hours, which is okay. You know, it's not like it's going to stagnate for days. As long as I till this and mix it with some good stuff, I think we should be good to go. It'll be good. So Annie wants to have some flowers. So we're going to go and see if we can find a mixture and a balance of color, and also, well, there's a car on fire over there. I have my dad's trailer on the back of the car for the first time, and because I hooked up an aftermarket tow bar. So the place that we're going to right now is called Super and Son Nursery and Landscape. It was rated pretty highly on Google, so I gave him a call yesterday, and Lee is the owner. I'm gonna probably meet with him or talk with him a little bit about what will work best for the yard. There's a plant in China my wife uses for all sorts of food and treats, and it's called Gui Hua, osmanthus. So I'm gonna try and find it. So yeah, the goal is to find some different colors. Some flowering annuals would be nice. I kind of like the look of some of these shorter pines. Those are nice. You can get some nice colors from them too. So I've just been talking with Lee. I don't think I could put the Gui Hua. He looked it up. He says it's more of a southern plant. Yeah, he's giving me some ideas. Sort of something I'm a little bit nervous about, because my soil is not great soil, and I want to see exactly how much should be above, how much should be below. He recommends a nice undulating hilly effect, which I agree with. So like for example, this isn't a tree that I'm getting, but this base probably 3 inches below the surface, but the rest mounted up above. Actually, he was saying 3 layers. So you have your clay layer at the bottom, your mixed compost and clay middle, and then your really good sweet spot on the top. This is the plan. So we're gonna go yellow. We're gonna 2 figureheads. We got the Japanese maple and the dogwood. Around the dogwood, is going to be some yellow spirea. Around the Japanese maple, we're going to have some juniper. Connecting the two is going to be a row of boxwoods. In front, some geraniums. Behind the boxwoods, LA hydrangeas. Next to that is going to be some roses. Then we have some spice baby that are going to be alongside the house. This is why you got somebody with some knowledge of it, because he's like, well, this is gonna be blooming this period, and that's gonna be blooming that period, and you're always gonna have something that's gonna be eye-catching in your yard. Got some compost coming, some edging, and maybe some stones if I can convince Annie. Annie doesn't want any stones. I think she could use some stones. Can I pull off any?
Yep, so if they start to fade, you can take your fingernail and just pinch them off. This is a seed head. So if you just deadhead it, what the rose wants to do is put energy into seeds.
Yeah.
No, we want flowers. You know, and to me it's kind of therapeutic. You know, you're just getting out here and you can't overwater when they're in pots, but you can overwater
when they're in the ground. Okay. Lee, the owner of Super & Son, really took the time to go through and lay out the whole system for me. He's also going to provide me with a plan for irrigation and how to keep these plants successful. I mean, we really spent a lot of time. I think I've been here for, it's 1 o'clock, 3 hours almost. So, thank you, Lee. I gotta put all that dirt over here and mix it in. That's all good stuff.
Basically here, and they sell to them, and we buy from
yeah, they moved the dirt over there, and then they charged us to move it back. I've been moving the soil here, getting it all soft. It's been a bit of a pain in the ass pulling a lot of stones out, but it's good. I gotta get the wheelbarrow down and start moving. So I'm gonna till all this, sort of even it out, and then take the remainder and spread that top layer, which is the good soil, the good stuff. Once that's finished and I have it all contoured properly, then I take the fabric and I lay it over. I tuck it in the front areas, and then I put the drop edge in, and then I stake that top edge in. And then once I have the fabric over, then I cut little squares out everywhere I'm going to put plants, and then plant. And then once those plants are in, then I get some darker hardwood chip, put that chip in, and then we're done. Yeah, you can see here, I mean, that I get there's a lot of squish here, which is good. I think it's got a lot of potential. Okay, so I tilled it and screeded it down. I've got a little mound there, a little mound here, some mounding there, but sort of undulating to the other side. A nice pocket on this side too that I need to rake out. I'm gonna put the leftover dirt there and then head off to the hospital to get my x-ray soon. Yeah, so I was helping a neighbor across the street carry a stairway that he wanted to put on his deck. Like it was like a 7-step stairway with a little landing made out of like composite decking, and it looked like 2x10s or something. And it weighed a lot actually. And so I got my dolly and we strapped it to the dolly, and when we did, I thought it might be falling over, so we were holding it, and it was pretty precarious. We even got on the slope of his yard, and like the whole stairway was like on an angle, and we were like holding it. And I was a little worried it was going to tip over, so I was really tweaking my body to keep it straight. And then we got to his patio, and we had to lift the whole thing up and lift and turn it at the same time, which again was precarious. And then when we got it on his patio, we had to push it, and so I was getting down low and using my body and my core and everything to turn it. And none of those points were where I hurt my ankle. It was only when we finished, I shook his hand, I said, "No problem, neighbor." He said, "Thanks." And then I stepped off his patio, and the moment my foot hit the ground, it did this inside. So this is my normal foot. That is my normal ankle. Sort of how my foot looks from behind. Pretty standard. This is my ankle, if you can find it there. It's sort of a mess, if you can see them side by side. I don't know if you can tell how that foot is and that foot is. Anyways, I hope these results come back with a it's not that bad, and I don't have to wear a cast and stay off my feet, because I literally can't stay off my feet right now. Of course, it happens now. Okay, so I originally wanted to go to the doctor's because I have a hernia, which is not a good thing to have in the first place. I have an umbilical hernia. Basically, my belly button looks like a smiley face. It should be round, but there's like, whatever. So I'm working on that. Then I go to the doctor and I told him about my ankle, and he's like, "That doesn't look good." So I had to go get some x-rays. I'm back. He looked at the x-rays. He says it looks like a tear. I think I might have to cast it up. Tomorrow he's going to have me get a second opinion from a guy who does like sports medicine and everything, and we'll see if it needs to go in a cast. He's like, "You got to stay off your feet." I can't stay off my feet. Like, that's impossible. I'll try to take some weight off, and I'll tell you what, these work boots, they help to stabilize the ankle and everything. So that'll be as much as I can do. But I have to continue forward and work on finishing this front yard. But not good. Anyways, back to work. Okay, so we've spread out the soil. We've got 3 layers: the base, the mix, and then the top layer. Good. I've got it mounded. Annie thinks it's mounded way too high, but I think it'll be nice. But now we're gonna lay in over the fabric, which there's a lot of. I wasn't gonna do fabric because I was told through a bunch of YouTube videos that I watched that you'll end up having a lot of weeds growing through the fabric, and the fabric and the weeds kind of get entangled, and it's just not such a smart idea. But then I went to the nursery and I was kind of convinced of the other way, in the fact that if you use really, really good quality fabric, and this fabric is not porous for allowing weeds to latch on, that this stuff is like the professional stuff. You'll have, really, really good success with it. So Eva just had her first softball game. She's on the softball team. I don't know, it's like Little League, I guess. And so she's doing that. She's super excited about that. She had her first game today, and Annie is cooking up some huge steaks, like monsters. Look at these monsters. I mean, I don't know if you can see how big these things are, but they are huge. How is it? Good? This is a massive piece of meat. I don't know. You can tell how big that is. It is. Up and down.
Hi, everybody!
What I'm doing now is I'm taking these steaks, these like U-shaped steaks, and I'm just tacking them in. Huh?
And I saw him glowing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I saw him.
Yeah.
How
Cool.
Yeah, it was dark by the door, and then it was so dark.
Yeah.
It was lit. Can I sit on one of your chairs?
You sure can. She's just hanging out.
Glowstone.
Glowstone, yep. There's a whole bunch everywhere. Garden.
Where's Eva right now?
She's inside. She had her first softball game today.
Can she come at the workout with me?
You can open the door and ask if you'd like. Now I've cut out the concrete. I've taken and made sure that everywhere it goes in, that the material rolls up, so the mulch will sit on this and keep it down and seal off the edge. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to trench around the whole edge here and then drop in my edge, have the fabric go down on this side and then build it up on that side and then stake it into the material from the side. Don't stake down if you can, stake over so that when the frost builds up and you got like changing in temperature, it won't rip that edging right out of the ground. You kind of want to have it in sheer strength is better than straight up and down. So you want to kind of jam it in from the side, and then over time it'll sort of harden itself in there. We'll be good to go. I came across a few of these and I was so nervous. I thought it was fiber optic cable because there's an AT&T cable, but it's just the flag that says underneath that is fiber optic cable. This was another one. All right, so I've dug the trench and I've laid in the border. Now I got to seal it in.